guys, welcome back to the crypto wave. I don't know how many of these videos we can do, but here we are with another one. Every time there's an announcement, that announcement says we're gonna go live, and then we don't. So as you can see, actually, so we've been officially paused since the 8th. However many days this is. I went ahead and marked it all the way out to the 1st. I know that's a couple days away. Today is Thursday, April 28th, about 10:24 p.m. This particular, it sounds like if you go into the Telegram, sometime next week, they're talking about launching pigs. Launching pigs first while paused with dogs still, because dogs, as you know from the previous video, has to do the version syrup pool version correction. Basically, Pancake Swap is redoing their syrup pool, so there's going to be a version 3. So all the liquidity needs to be moved from version 2 to version 3 on the syrup pool, which basically means that we need to now have a version 2 of dogs, because so much of it is built onto that rehypothecation on the back end of mining and things. Well, that rehypothecation for Animal Farm is actually done on Pancake Swap. So, sorry, one second. As usual, I am working as I do my video, because you guys, as you know, I always mention it, I do overnights every other week. So I'm just sending some orders here. All right. So with that being said, sorry once again. Okay. So with that being said, where are we in regards to pigs? What to expect? What are we gonna do? Basically, what do you need to do if you are part of Animal Farm and if you join this with me? So let me first by saying, if you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It's really beneficial. I am trying to get this up to a point where we have a little bit of an impact, and that our community has a say. And maybe one day Forex, the one of the developers of this, may see us as a force that can be reckoned with. And a lot of these questions that I bring up, or ideas that I have, or things that you guys mention in the chat, because there's obviously some comments that come across that are valid. And there's been a couple of comments on some of the previous videos that basically say this is a waste of time. Why are we wasting our time with this? In actuality, I can probably bring it up for you here. So let's go over here. So on my previous video here, Animal Farm so close, but there was a comment in here. Oh, actually, this is one of the best. No, well, that's very nice. I like that. I appreciate it when people put comments on here that say that what I'm doing is beneficial. Because honestly, sometimes I just feel like I'm a dude just talking into a microphone, and who knows who's listening. You know what I mean? But these kinds of comments I really appreciate. So I appreciate Constiplaya. I love the name also. I'm just gonna say I appreciate it, because I do, and you're actually getting an appreciation on shout out on this current video. So it wasn't that one. Let's go back over here. Maybe it was this one. No, not that one. Well, at any rate, I did have some comments that were basically saying, oh, like here's the one. Remember your video from 4 weeks ago? The word we were so close, which we were, and I hear you, my friend. Can't believe anything from Forex on this project, especially around timing. The dev should have fixed issues and relaunched weeks ago. Now he's adding more new features that can go wrong. What a poor approach. Disappointing. And I agree, my friend. You know that anybody who watches my channel knows that I'm a supporter of Animal Farm, but I get it. Look, I hear your frustration. Definitely taking longer than expected. I'd rather a long-term project like this get it right than have some kind of an exploit. As you guys know, like there's an exploit that happened on the elephant. Well, I don't know if you guys do know or not, but there's another project that was very similar, almost a I don't want to say it a rival to Forex, but you know, there are definitely two developers that butt heads a lot, is him and a gentleman by the name of um, Bank Teller. And Bank Teller does a lot of farming and different things on there also. But he had an exploit, or I don't know if you want to call it an exploit. There's obviously it's semantics on the way that they deal with the verbiage of what's an exploit versus what's a hack and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I hear you, my friend. I hear you here. Am I frustrated too? Of course I am. I'm even out here putting my name out and putting this YouTube channel out, talking about how I'm supporting this. And I do support it. But with that being said, you're absolutely right. It is frustrating. But let's let it play out. Let's let it play out. I'm a firm believer, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I took some notes from the most recent AMA from Forex. I'm going to go over what's going to happen with pigs and some of those changes that he did mention that you're mentioning on here. I think some of them are actually going to be very, very beneficial. So this gentleman here, the project is a total scam. Took all my cake with it. I replied because I'm not sure what you mean by this, my friend. Cake is on there. You can withdraw that out if you want to through the emergency contract, or like I said, next week this thing should be taking off here, and then it's a mute point at that point. Smash the like button. I appreciate that, Carlos. But anyway, so the point of all this is, I hear you, and I get your frustration. I also am waiting for Animal Farm. I also have been waiting all of these days, and I get it. I still think it's going to be one of, if not the best farm that will launch, or once it's launched in the running operation, it's going to be one of the best farms and one of the best places that you can park your liquidity in order to earn interest, not only because of the dynamic emissions, but because of the high yields it's going to be providing, the rehypothecation, the treasury, the pig token being the ownership of the platform, the association with the dogs, the combination of that with drip, and then many other things. He's already got so many things, and he talked about it on the most recent AMA, that I feel is going to make this very, very bullish. Now, with that being said, is there going to be a kind of a drop-off in the beginning? Yeah, I would imagine there's probably going to be some kind of a drop-off when this thing first launches. You know, there's a lot of people that have been waiting, and there's a lot of people that want to just pull their funds out. They think this is going to go to the shitter, for lack of a better word, and I can't blame them. I, for one, am not one of those people. I personally think that once this thing gets rocking and rolling here again, you will see that dip. But I think there's enough things in place that are going to turn this thing around. So with that being said, let's go over some of the stuff that we pulled out. As you know, I like listening to those AMAs. I missed one a couple days ago because I was working, unfortunately. But there was one, I think this is yesterday or the day before, I can't recall. But I went through it. It was about an hour, just over an hour long, and I pulled out the things that are important, the things that we need to know. And this is just kind of to summarize it. So I'll try not to go Forex on this and try not to ramble, but I'm just going to go over some of these major points so you guys who've gone in with me know what to do and what to expect. So first and foremost, he did mention there's going to be a new UI. There is in the Telegram a video of the new UI. It's slick, you know what I mean? It's funny enough. Well, I won't get into that, but it does remind me of a different developer who may have recently had an exploit. So, but anyways, it does look pretty slick. There's a video in the Telegram. You should check it out. For me personally, I don't think a new UI does anything really for price. It will make it look a little bit more professional so as new money comes in, and maybe make it a little bit more slick for us and kind of refresh it, given that it's been delayed so long. I think that's more of a PR thing than it is going to be for price action, but that's just me. Pigpen. So what are the big changes? So Pigpen, as you guys know before, if you deposited your pigs into Pigpen, you actually earned BUSD out of the treasury based on how much you had in there. That was the entire purpose of this whole thing that I was tracking. And then basically I had this pegged down to the penny of how much are you getting per pig per day based on the treasury, based on the buys and sells, based on the holders, all that kind of stuff. Pardon me 1 second, sorry. Work as always. Okay. So that was the entire purpose of this. So what exactly are the changes going to be for the Pigpen? So first and foremost, wrong one. Let's jump back over here. So first and foremost, if you have pigs in the Pigpen, you will be credited in the Pigpen. But here's the improvements and the changes that are going to happen. Number one, Because, and this is honestly, we kind of knew this was coming, and we mentioned this a couple of videos ago. He's going to basically put a limit on the amount of pigs you can pull out of the Pigpen once it launches. Now, why would he do that, and why some people are upset, and why I think you should not be upset? This thing has been frozen since the 8th of March. Like I said before, there's probably going to be a chunk of people that just want to take their pigs, sell it on the market, and be done with this. And I don't blame you, and I get it, and maybe you'll come back once everything calms down. But what's that going to do? And his ideas, he's got to look at this package as a whole and that project as a whole. You can't have however many people. On last check, let's jump back over here. On last check, before everything shut down, there were 8,775 people holding pigs. Let's assume half of them, which is a large amount. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that, but let's assume half of them decide that they're going to exit pigs and be done with it. That means that they're going to sell all of their pigs the moment it launches. What is that going to do to the price of pigs? It's going to tank it. Of course it's going to tank it. So why would he put in this type of a stop loss on there? Well, for exactly that reason. He only wants 2% to be taken out a day. That 2% each day helps regulate that sell pressure if there's going to be people getting out of there. Now, it is 2% a day, but it isn't like a linear, or I guess it is linear in that aspect, where his example was if you have 100 pigs in there, it'll take you 50 days to get it out. So, and now again, he doesn't 100% say, but he does allude to it that this is basically just going to slow off any kind of huge sales, and that's kind of my opinion as well. Secondly, it will also, the big one and the big thing that he's pushing is in the Pigpen before, you basically get BUSD based off of, which I think the treasury, yeah, it's not on here anymore, but there used to be a button over here that showed you what the treasury was. Most recent treasury before shutdown was 3.2 million. That 3.2 million was paid out to people in Pigpen. Well, now with the new changes, actually, it's not only going to pay out BUSD, but it's actually going to pay you out pigs as well. So you're actually going to be gaining pigs while being in there, almost like a single stake asset pool, which is huge. And where are those pigs coming from? Well, those are going to be coming from the buys and sells of pig elsewhere and people going into the piggy bank. There'll be a percentage of pigs that are basically going to get sent over to that Pigpen, and then you'll be able to either withdraw those Pigpen just like you do your BUSD, or you can compound them in further, solidifying your position there. So that is huge. Although ultimately, anytime more, I personally wish pigs were not even admitted anymore. I wish pigs were had a finite number in circulation, and it never changed, in my opinion, or even deflationary in that aspect. Now, he is putting some aspects in here that do make it deflationary, or try to make it deflationary, but that still is reliant on a lot of things. And so this in reality is going to keep pigs in circulation. Granted, they'll be compounding it. I think he's counting on more people compounding into the Pigpen to maintain their BUSD payout and their pigs payout than will withdraw it, locking up pigs. So people who go into Piggybank are locking up pigs. The fees associated to going to Piggybank are going to get kicked back to the Pigpen, where he's hoping people are also going to be compounding those pigs, further removing things out of circulation. Hopefully he's right. That would be pretty epic. Only time will tell, so we'll see. Now, there will be a credit contract for the Pigpen. So in essence, you're going to get, if you had, so let's say, and I put an example here. So if you had 200 pigs in the Pigpen, you were going to get 200 pigs in the pig credit contract. And the pig credit contract is basically going to be a place that you can interact just like you did up here with the pig's credit. Because in essence, what you need to do is he's going to give you an option, or he's going to give you two options technically. First one being is if you just want those pigs to stay in the Pigpen and start earning you pigs and BUSD from the treasury, you basically just claim it and it puts it into the Pigpen for you. Simple as that. Now, once that does happen, anything going in now, and there was a time lock on it before, I think it was 4 hours. Well, now there's a 7-day time lock on it, which is totally fine. It's going to prevent people from going in heavy and being able to dump really easy, which I'm good with a 7-day lockup. But if you were planning on just keeping your pigs in the pig pen, you just need to claim it, and then that's it. Now, if you have those 200 pigs that are in the pig pen, it's going to go over to the pig contract, the Pigpen contract for release, and you want to just pull it out. You don't want it in the pig pen anymore. Well, the option you have, unfortunately, at that point, will be to pair it up with your BUSD, or pair it with BUSD by sending BUSD to the pig contract, the claiming pig contract. It will then pair it into a liquidity and provide you pig and LP, pig BUSD liquidity. Now, I don't know if that's still within contract, or if at that point you have it in your wallet and you can split it and sell it, or is it mandated to go into the piggy bank automatically? He didn't say. My guess is you'll likely get pig BUSD LP into your wallet, at which point you can split it and sell your pigs if you want to. But either way, you do need to send BUSD to the contract in order to pull it out, which will be beneficial because there's going to be fees and things related to that. So anybody who remains in Animal Farm, that's going to be beneficial. There's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be confused by this, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset by this. I think they're all going to assume that the only way to get pigs is to send money. In essence, like, oh, you have $10,000 worth of pig. Oh, well, you need to give me $10,000 to get it out. And that's not really the case. Because technically what you can do is, if you have that 200 pigs, in essence, you can basically just put them all into the pig pen, which costs you nothing. And then you can pull out 2% a day, if you still wanted to sell. So that is that. New cash flow to the pig pen. This is basically due to incentivize people to stay. So all the fees that are deposited into the piggy bank are now given to pig pen holders. We talked about that. That's how pigs are going to be given to you, and you can compound it or withdraw it. And I put it right here. You can claim or claim those or compound them. Now, he did say, which is important, I wish we can get a value on this, that there is, quote, millions of BUSD ready for the Pigpen treasury. Now, what I'm curious on, and as I showed you, is when this froze, there was 3.2 million in there. So if he is indeed saying that there is millions more, millions, so let's just assume, because he did have it plural, that's 2 million, that will put it to 5.2 million on here. Give or take. Now, granted, I'm just speculating at this point. However, he has been doing, and this is something else that he was talking about on the back end, that so the millions of BUSD is still in there. Now, unless this millions, he's referring to the millions that were already in there, which technically 3.2 million is millions. So that might be what he's referring to also. But the question everybody's been asking in the chat, and why everybody was upset, is why are we not getting our credit for our dogs? Honestly, we're not going to win that battle. But what I want to know is, where is the rehypothecation? That was still going on the back end, even while everything was paused. Just because dogs was paused doesn't mean that on the back end we weren't earning through the pancake swap. Now, yes, we're probably not earning on the pancake swap now because they're switching over to version 3 of the Sura pools. But all the way up to the date of Sura pool, we should have been earning. He did say millions of dollars worth of cake rehypothecation. And he said specifically, and I pulled this quote while I was listening, it will be liquidated to BUSD and deposited into the Pigpen treasury. So, again, millions. Is this the millions that were already in there? Was that the 3.2 million that was already there? Or is that millions that's sitting to go on top of that 3.2 million? And with that being said, if that is, now you have another couple million here, because millions, again, is going to be more than one. So we'll figure minimally 2. That again should put that up to the 5.2 mark. So we'll see what happens there. There's going to be a 3% burn on all pig sales, which is good. You want to burn, we need it to be deflationary. Pigpen treasury remains at 3% payout per day based on your pig holdings. That's how it was before. Now, let's get down to the piggy bank. Piggy bank, we've talked about this kind of at length. When you go into piggy bank, really the bottom line is, if you're in piggy bank, you will get the exact same kind of scenario here. So if you deposited a certain amount for however many days it is, 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 year, 2 year, whatever the heck it is, you are basically going to get credited those, and they will automatically be put into the piggy bank for you. So if you have pigs in bank, you need to do nothing. It will be credited to you. You'll be credited pigs LPs as follows: your total deposits minus withdrawals. So that basically means if you put in $100 and before the pause you had pulled out $25, you were going to get $75 worth of credit. All time locks will be set to what you had them at the time of the pause. The people who botted and caused all the problems. So what's going to happen is when he does credit everything, it's going to start at the top from the very first buy, very first deposit, and move its way down in the order that it happened when the piggy bank launched. Only difference being is those botters in the very, very, very beginning. All of those pigs that were purchased are going to be redistributed down line in the order of which people had purchased. So that in essence should give quite a few people more pigs, and then it takes away that sell pressure of one person holding such a vast majority of the pigs and milking the piggy bank. So now there is going to be a 20% bonus for the first 48 hours of anybody who puts new LP and goes into the piggy bank. Important thing to say about that is that includes anything you're going to pair from the Pigpen. So if you're going to choose the BUSD, putting BUSD into the pig claim token to get LP, and then you put that into the piggy bank, that does apply to that 20%. If you had pigs in your wallet, you're just going to get pigs in your wallet. That's fine. New taxes on pigs. And then he went into dogs. But I got to dig more into the dogs and things. We're just talking pigs at this point. Dogs are going to be a couple weeks, probably 1 to 2 weeks later. It should not be anything fancy. It's going to be very similar to, I think, the way pigs credit worked, or when we went from Rev to Animal Farm. But anyways, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, with that being said, I will let you go because I know I'm rambling. I want to dig more into the drip because he did start mentioning some things in drip, so we'll start doing videos on that soon. A couple of the highlights, they were talking about lending peer-to-peer with drip. They were talking about scratchers with drip. He did mention partnerships with exchanges. He talked about, obviously, we still have that pancake swap purchase that we're doing. There's a new UI coming. And actually, there was one thing I wanted to show you guys. Where is it? Personal. Give me 1 second. I just got to get over to Cammon. Taking its time. Jim Diggers, if you guys want to follow something with good, here it is, Animal Farm. But Jim Digger's really, really good. I do a lot of stuff with him. So, here it is. Medium article. Sorry, my Telegram is going really slow here. I just want to show you guys something really quick. There it is, Medium article. And this is why I'm getting a little bit more bullish with Animal Farm and everything. Come down to the bottom here. So this is an article that Forex wrote, just kind of explaining some things. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, wait, no, that must be a new... Hold on a minute. Close that. Let's go back in time. Maybe it was this one. Ah, this is the one. Come down here. Bullish pigs. Here we go. Where was it? It must have been up here. Ah, here it is. On top of the pig dividends will continue to be generated from Pigpen from Piggybank fees. As well, we are in negotiations with a major DEX to utilize our rehypothecation functionality to lend out single asset pools, not just our LP collateral, which we're doing now. What on earth does that mean? That means that right now, when we're in these farms and we have all these LP tokens mining and doing rehypothecation, as we know, oops, sorry about that, I accidentally hit the microphone. Then now all these single asset pools, dogs, BNB, BUSD, all these different single asset pools are now going to be able to use rehypothecation on the back end through a centralized DEX. And as we know, the rehypothecation on the farms caused millions of revenue. So if we start doubling that up onto the pools, that is super bullish. So that was really, really good news that I read. That's all I can think of. Excellent. I'm going to get back to work. It is 10:48, which means I went about 20 minutes. That's not too bad. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully it summarized things pretty well. Hopefully it makes more sense to you. Hold on a little bit longer, guys. I think this is going to be pretty dang big once it finally starts going. We're talking next week sometime, but as we know with Forex, we'll wait and see what he says come Monday or Tuesday. So, all right, everything otherwise is good, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a good night.